What if you got a magical pencil one day, which would really show you whatever you draw? This is what happened to this man. So let's know the whole story from the beginning. The story begins with a poor man named Juan. He is a painter who sits on the side of the road and makes pictures of people and spends his time with them. Although his painting art is of a professional level, he never becomes rich. One day, suddenly, a sports car comes and stops in front of him. One of the people takes out money and throws it at Juan. That man is Yi Long, who is a famous painter. But the truth is that his painting art is not that good. Rather, he is clever and famous for deceit. In fact, he takes Juan's paintings and sells them at auction, and tells people that he made the painting himself. Then he gives only 5,000 yuan to Juan out of that money. Well, he is a rich man, and the same painting is sold for 100,000 yuan at the auction. Juan knows very well that he is being cheated, but he can't do anything about it, because he doesn't have any name or identity, which is why he can't sell his painting himself. On the other hand, Yi Long has a very beautiful girlfriend named Malin. The surprising thing is that Malin used to be Juan's girlfriend, but she left Juan because she wanted a better and richer life. Juan only had an old and almost ordinary life, and this is why there is a feeling of hatred in his heart, and he feels very angry inside. Not only that, wherever he goes, he sees Yi Long's posters and pictures everywhere, as if the whole world is praising him, and this thing is making Juan even more worried. In reality, society is giving respect and recognition to Yi Long, whereas the real artist is Juan who made these paintings. This small city is also full of different painters, and the more people that come into this profession, the less their earnings become, because they all have to compete with each other for the same customers. Meanwhile, when Juan is going back to his room, the hostel owner comes to him. He starts asking for 2 months' rent. At that time, Juan is already in a bad mood, so he gives all the money he just got to the owner, and then walks away in style. Seeing this, the owner says, "Are you joking? This isn't even half the money." Then Juan replies, "I'll definitely give the rest next month." Saying this, he leaves. After that, he goes to Lao Zhou's gallery, where art exhibitions are held. Juan asks for permission to keep his paintings there to sell, but Lao Zhou tells him, "Last time not a single one of your paintings sold, so why are you being so stubborn?" He adds, "The time has come for you to find some other work. Maybe this path isn't right for you." But Juan is not someone who gives up. In another part of the city lives Xiaoying, who is Juan's current girlfriend. She has been blind since birth. To make a living, she works doing massages in a small hair salon. Every day many male customers there harass her and try to misbehave with her. But because she is forced to earn money, she silently tolerates everything. One day Juan suddenly arrives there and starts scolding those men. But they don't like his behavior at all. To teach him a lesson, they start beating him badly. Juan is beaten so much that his face becomes completely swollen. At that time, the only person standing with him is Xiaoying, who keeps encouraging him. Although Xiaoying has never seen Juan's face with her own eyes, the two truly love each other and overlook each other's flaws. Xiaoying fully believes that one day Juan will definitely become a famous painter. But just as a romantic moment comes between them, their mood suddenly gets ruined. Because Ameng arrives, who is Juan's best friend. Ameng was thrown out of his house by his parents, because his dream was also to become a painter, and he didn't want to take over the family business. That's why he had to leave home. After this, the two friends sit on the roof and talk to each other. Ameng is completely obsessed with the TikTok star girl. The girl is very beautiful and stylish. Ameng keeps sending her gifts to make her happy. He even spends almost all his money. He hopes that maybe one day that girl will become his girlfriend. Hearing this, Juan tries to make him understand. He says that you're wasting both your feelings and your money for nothing. People like that never pay attention to ordinary people like us. But Ameng immediately fires back. He says, "It's exactly like you dreaming of becoming a painter. That dream will never come true either. So why are you being so stubborn?" Hearing this, Juan falls completely silent. After that, both friends sit together drinking all night. In the end, they fall asleep there while drunk. Then suddenly Juan's eyes open and he sees a strange thing in the sky. Actually, an alien spaceship is flying past right in front of him. Seeing this, Juan can't believe his eyes. From a distance, he hides and starts sketching the aliens, but by mistake, he forgets to turn off the camera flash. As soon as the aliens see the flash of light, they realize someone is watching them, and in the very next moment, they immediately vanish from there. Their spaceship also disappears from the sky in an instant, but it seems that while escaping, the aliens leave behind a strange stick-like thing. Juan picks it up and takes it home with him. The next morning when he wakes up, he tells Ameng the whole incident. He says that last night he really saw real aliens. But Ameng isn't surprised at all by this. He calmly asks, "Were there 3 aliens?" Hearing this, Juan is stunned and immediately asks, "Did you see them too?" Then Ameng points to a painting kept in front and says that maybe Juan saw this picture, and after seeing it, he must have had a dream like that at night. Ameng says, "Stop talking nonsense. There's no such thing as aliens." Saying this, he leaves for work. Juan also starts thinking that maybe he really did just have a dream. But then his eyes fall on that strange stick he had brought with him last night. Looking at it, he starts believing again that whatever happened was real. A little while later, while he is making a painting for a child, his purple-colored pencil runs out. So he sharpens that strange stick and uses it like a pencil to draw a round circle. The strange thing is that the stick actually starts writing like a purple color. But after just a few seconds, the circle he drew suddenly turns into a real stone. Seeing this, Juan is completely shocked. He immediately tries to draw something else. This time he draws a picture of an apple. And after just a few moments, a real apple comes out from the picture he drew. Seeing this, a dangerous idea comes to his mind. He immediately runs home and tells everything to his friend Ameng. But Ameng still doesn't believe it. He thinks this is all completely useless and nonsense. Then Juan draws a picture of a gold bar on a piece of paper and tells Ameng to keep watching carefully. But nothing happens for quite a while. Seeing this, Ameng angrily crumples the paper and throws it out the window. Just then, a loud noise comes from outside. When they look outside, they find the hostel owner standing there, and a real gold brick has fallen next to him, made from that same paper. But he doesn't return the gold. He says, "I'm keeping this as compensation money." After this, the 2 friends bring a large piece of paper. This time, Juan draws a 10-kilo gold brick, and after just a few moments, the gold brick actually appears in front of them. Now Ameng also becomes fully convinced that Juan really did meet aliens. Together, they decide that they will keep this a secret from the whole world. Because if anyone finds out about this secret, their lives could be in danger. After this, Juan draws the thing he had always dreamed of. He draws a very big, grand palace on the paper. And suddenly, that palace actually appears right in the middle of the city. Seeing this, people from the whole city gather there. No one understands how this all happened so suddenly. After a while, police officers also arrive there and start investigating. Meanwhile, Juan notices a small button on that strange stick. When he presses it, all the lines of the painting get pulled back into the stick, and at that very moment, the big palace also vanishes in an instant. Seeing this, everyone becomes even more shocked. After this, both friends return home and decide that now they will make and use money. Then Ameng writes the number 200 million on the paper, and suddenly 200 million actually appears in front of them. But it's not real money. Instead, a useless plastic thing comes out that has no value. Then Juan says that now he will try himself. He draws a pile of 200 million yuan notes on the paper, and in the next moment, a huge pile of real money actually appears in the room, filling the entire room. After this, both friends use that money to buy expensive clothes. Then they stand in style and pose to tease the hostel owner. After this, Juan steps forward and says, "I'm paying the rent for all the painters living here for the next 100 years in advance." Hearing this, all the painters present there become very happy and start celebrating loudly. After this, both friends use that money to buy very expensive cars. And the cars that are so rare they aren't even available in the market, they paint and make them themselves. Then Juan puts up a huge billboard even bigger than Long's advertisement. On it, he writes, "I am the #1 painter." But the story doesn't end here. Because at that same time, Long is negotiating the price to buy a palace. Just then, Juan and Meng arrive there. They tell the salesman, "We both want to buy 2 palaces at full price." And they immediately place a huge pile of cash in front of him. Seeing this, both Long and Malin become so shocked that not a single word comes out of their mouths. That night, Juan brings his girlfriend Xiaoyin to live in that palace. He tells her that when he was poor, she was the only person who always stood by him. So now that he has everything, he wants to give her a better life. After this, Juan proposes marriage to her. He promises that he will take care of her for his whole life. But hearing this, Xiaoyin refuses him, because she feels that she isn't worthy of him. Meanwhile, Meng also shows off his new girlfriend to everyone, and that girl is the same TikTok star he was already obsessed with. Finally, after seeing his expensive gifts, that girl also agrees to become his girlfriend. On the other side, Xiaoyin sadly walks out of the palace. Then Huan immediately goes after her and starts talking to her. He tells her the truth, that everything he has is because of that mysterious stick, because whatever he draws actually becomes real. But Xiaoyin still doesn't fully believe this. So she says to him, "If this is true, then make eyes for me and show me." The next day, Huan draws a picture of eyes for her, but the eyes that appear are just separate eyes. So they both erase them and draw the painting again. This time he draws a complete picture of Xiaoyin. In it, her face, body, hands, and feet are all clearly visible. And most importantly, in that picture, her eyes are open. Suddenly, at that very moment, something strange starts happening to Xiaoyin. Suddenly, Xiaoyin gets pulled inside that picture, and after just a few moments, she reappears in front of them. Now she could actually see. This was the first moment in her life when she saw the face of her beloved person, Huan. But at the same time, in another part of the world, a very strange news comes out. The eyes of a Hollywood star named Malia suddenly disappear. Not only that, many other strange incidents start happening too. Like a big palace suddenly disappears mysteriously, and then 5 minutes later, it reappears in the same place. A rich man is taking his girlfriend for a drive in his car, but suddenly his car itself disappears. Because of that, both of them fall and scrape along the road. And the most shocking thing is that money kept in the bank also starts disappearing suddenly. Because of these strange incidents, the police immediately start an investigation. Meanwhile, Huan makes a hot air balloon and takes everyone in it to travel the world. Now his life has become completely luxurious, but he doesn't know that whatever he creates actually gets stolen from somewhere else and comes here. Meaning his drawing doesn't just make things, it transfers them from one place to another. After this, they both go to Laozhou and donate a lot of money to him, so that he can organize a free art exhibition and auction for unknown and poor painters. For the promotion of this event, huge posters are put up all over the city. Seeing all this, Yilong becomes very angry. He thinks, this is just a small event. Then where did 10 million yuan in funding come from? He says in anger, that useless man, where can Huan get so much money from? There must be some big secret behind this. Just then, Malin says to him, what does this have to do with us? Or are you jealous of him? Hearing this, Yilong explodes in anger. He starts hitting Malin because she dared to say such a thing to him. After this, Yilong calls the police and informs them that Huan has suddenly become very rich, and he might be involved in some illegal activity. Finally, the day of the art exhibition arrives. Many people come there to take part in the auction. And the surprising thing is that Huan's painting sells for 300,000 yuan. While before, no one was even willing to buy his painting. But while the auction is going well, suddenly the police arrive there. They start questioning Huan about where he got so much money from, because some of his cars resemble cars that were recently stolen. Because of this, the police start filing a case against him on suspicion of theft. And from here, his troubles are about to begin. Actually, the police suspected it was a theft case. Then Among steps forward and asks the police, do you have any proof to prove us guilty? But the police don't have any solid evidence. Because of this, both of them escape from this trouble. When Huan returns home, he slowly starts understanding that whatever he had created wasn't actually new. Instead, it was just transferred from one place to another. Then he realizes that Xiaoyin's eyes might actually be from that Hollywood star Malia. Meanwhile, the police are also keeping constant watch on both of them, so they can somehow get evidence against them. That night, Malin, who Yilong had beaten badly, comes to Huan's house and wants to talk to him alone. Both sit together drinking and start talking about old things from their lives. Malin apologizes to him for leaving him, but Huan says, the mistake was mine, I was poor. You didn't do wrong by choosing a better life. As the effect of the alcohol increases, Huan ends up revealing his biggest secret too. He says that all his power came from that strange stick that he got from the aliens, but he has no idea at all that Yilong had placed a hidden camera on Malin's body. Through it, he is watching their entire conversation, and from here, his dangerous plan begins. The next morning, the four of them sit together and think about what they should do next. Should they keep this secret hidden and keep living in hiding like this? Or should they erase everything and return all the things to their real owners? but doing that would mean their lives would go back to poverty again. Then Ameng asks, "Do you want Xiaoyan to become blind again?" Hearing this, Huan falls into deep thought, but then Xiaoyan herself says, "I'll become blind again, but I don't want to live by stealing someone else's eyes." B hears all of this. Now she finds out that Ameng isn't actually rich. But despite that, she says she still loves Ameng. Finally, the four of them make a decision. They decide that they will give that strange stick to the police so that no one can misuse it ever again. But when they open the safe, they see that the stick has disappeared. Actually, last night Yilong had snuck into the house, and he was the one who stole the stick. Now, when the stick ends up in Yilong's hands, he immediately makes the world's biggest art exhibition center for himself. But his greed doesn't stop there. He also creates a real royal palace, so that he can build his own kingdom where he will rule as king. And a king should have a queen too. So Yilong forcibly brings a #1 beauty queen to him as well. The stage is set. Yilong brings that beauty queen onto the stage and announces, "From today, we both will rule over this entire kingdom together." But while he's lost in his happiness, before that, the police and Huan's friends reach the palace. Actually, this palace was a very old historical building, and the place where it was placed was right in the middle of an airport, which was an extremely dangerous location. Then Huan tries to explain to Yilong. He says, "This isn't a magic pencil. It just takes things from one place to another," meaning this is straight up theft. But Yilong doesn't listen to a single word. He replies, "This is the rule of the world. When someone gains, someone has to lose. This is the truth of the world." Although the police don't understand the whole thing, they do understand that Yilong is doing something wrong. So they try to arrest him, to take him to the station for questioning. But Yilong wasn't someone who would give up that easily. He suddenly says he will run away to the moon, because Earth's laws don't apply there, and no one will be able to punish him. But to go to the moon, he needed a spaceship. So he uses the stick to make a spaceship. But as soon as the spaceship is made, it actually turns out to be the same alien ship, the one that had come to Earth that night. After a short while, aliens come out of that ship, and they directly ask Huan, "Where is our strange machine?" Then Huan points his finger at Yilong and says the machine is with him. But the matter wasn't that simple, because now Yilong had made a tank, and he was using it as a weapon to defend himself. Then the aliens use their incredible power, and they bend the tank's cannon and turn it back toward him. Seeing this, Yilong gets completely terrified and finally gives up. He is forced to return the strange stick to the aliens. Then the aliens explain that it wasn't a magical thing. Actually, it was their spaceship's garbage cleaning machine. But its tip had worn down and become exactly like a pencil. Because of that, the machine couldn't fit back into their ship anymore. Seeing this, the aliens get very angry, and they are about to punish Yilong, so that he realizes what he's done. But just then, suddenly Huan steps forward and tells the truth that he was the one who did all this, because at that time his colored pencils had run out. When the aliens hear this, they start praising him. They say that at least in this messed up world, there's still a little honesty left. They say that he is truly a brave person, who also has the courage to accept his mistake. So they decide to let him go, and they start preparing to return to their planet. But then Huan requests them, "Please put everything back to how it was before." The aliens ask him again, "Are you really sure that you're ready to lose everything?" Huan replies, "Yes, I'm completely sure." Then the aliens fulfill his wish. They send the tank, the palace, and even Xiaoyan's eyes back to their places. After this, whether it's the gold notebook or other valuable things, everything is sent back to their real owners. But the aliens forget one thing. Their spaceship was also made from that same drawing, and now it has disappeared too. So they spin around in a special way and go back to their planet. On the other side, Yulong's king outfit also goes back somewhere. A few days later, Huan starts working as a painter again, but because of his poverty and bad reputation, now his paintings don't sell like before. And with that, the film ends. How many stars would you give this movie out of 5? Be sure to tell in the comments.